Hello, hello! Welcome to the stream. David Snowpack here from Snowpack Games. Let me just fiddle with the overlay here for a moment. Oh, it's been so long since I've streamed, I don't remember the keys. Okay, there we go. I will get it converted to a real overlay in a moment. But how's everybody doing? While I'm fiddling with things, let me know how things are going. How was everybody's Christmas? Any project updates? Any plans, game dev plans for the new year? I mean, I guess you can tell me about your other plans too. I also have non-game dev plans for the new year. But most pertinent to this stream, I'd love to hear about your game dev plans. I have a whole bunch personally. All right, you'll have to let me know if the overlay is working. You should still be seeing me and Godot on my screen with my little dude floating over everything. By the way, this overlay is a Godot game that we built on stream some months ago. And yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at the eyeballs. Do we have any eyeballs? Is anyone actually watching, or is everyone like doing their own thing for New Year's Eve? I know it's a weird week. A lot of people take vacation. Work happens or doesn't. Actually, if you're slacking off at work, watching the stream would be really good. Oh, hey, Ross! Thanks for letting me know about the overlay. Let me turn down the volume on this machine. Good morning, sir. Ooh, wow, you got a cool ram helmet thing. That's awesome. Today, the plan is I would like to do a bunch of playtesting, find issues, and then fix them on stream. Of course, that's dependent on some people actually being at the stream to playtest. And I guess we have a Ross. We'll see if anyone else turns up for a New Year's Eve stream. And so to facilitate that, let me actually start up the game and get you guys a match ID. And my typing is horrible because I am on stream and feeling the nervousness that comes with that. Oh, and I should tell you where to get the build. I will put this URL in the chat in a moment, but I just wanted to point out that it is not the top build that we want. We want the second build. The top build is on the devel branch. The second build is on the rollback branch. We are working on the rollback and prediction netcode version of the game, so that's the one you want to grab. Click the little vertical dots and grab the version for your OS. Let me just interrupt the overlay for a moment and throw the link in the chat. And I'll get you guys a match ID in a moment. And then I will do like a kind of project overview while we're waiting for people to get in, because it always takes a little while for folks to get in there. And I've been messing around with stuff, so I'm not logged in. Throw this into the chat. All right. So, for anyone who is new to the stream, we have been working for the past, like, 6 months. It's crazy to think that much time has gone by on converting my Retro Tank Party game, which you can get on itch.io or Steam, from its current very simple netcode to rollback and prediction-based netcode, which is a network synchronization technique that is very popular, I guess, most commonly used, and maybe be a better way to say it, because there certainly are plenty of... Anyway, it is very commonly used in competitive fighting games. Not all competitive fighting games use it. You can see the user community around that always complaining, like, this fighting game does not use rollback. But yeah, we've been converting this game to use rollback and prediction. In that process, I've been creating a asset for Godot that will end up very, very soon, I hope, in the Godot asset library, and I'll start making some tutorials about it and whatnot. Really, like, the key gate there, the thing that is going to convert me to the mode of making tutorials and releasing this asset is finally getting the rollback and prediction version of this game released, because I don't want to be telling people, oh, go use this asset to make your game be rollback and prediction netcode, and not actually having released a game that uses it. So I want to have something out there really in production, and we're so close. We're so close. I honestly, the last like 2 months, I spent most of the time in like the trough of sorrow, as it were. Like November and beginning of December, I just thought I was never going to get this right. It was never going to be good enough to get released, but I've just been slowly fixing, you know, bug after bug after bug, and just one day, mid-December, it was working well enough. It's like so close to shippable. And we've been doing some play tests. Ross was in on the one yesterday, and fixing all those bugs that have come up, at least as much as possible. There was one bug from yesterday, Ross, that I still haven't fixed, but of the like 4 or 5, I fixed all the rest of them, or at least have, you know, attempted fixes in there. It's possible I didn't actually fix them. So yeah, I don't know that anyone's going to turn up. So Ross, let's just play this a bit. I hope you have your detail logs turned on, because I will need those logs to debug any issues that come up. And let's jump in. Man, this ping though. 33 milliseconds. When I run 2 clients locally on the same machine, I get 33 millisecond ping. It's like you are on my machine, Ross, with your fiber connection. So let's give this a shot. I think detailed logs are on. Should I go back out and check? I mean, if you didn't change it, it saves it between games. So if you didn't change it, it probably is still set. So I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's jump in here. See if we can get it to crash. Here, and I'll turn on the network overlay thing, so it shows some info about my connection to Ross, which only one rollback has happened, which is crazy. Ross is moving all over the place. That means his input is arriving before my client has had a chance to render it, with a 33 millisecond ping. So, you know, our frame times are 33 milliseconds, and we have an input delay of 2 frames, so we might never have a rollback, Ross. We might have to switch our relay mode to forced in order to get any rollbacks to happen, because this is like local. Ah, I got too close. Oh, but I have the boost. I got to get out of here. Need to find a box. Ah! I'm gonna blame my terrible playing right there. Did you like die at the end somehow? I heard another explosion. I'm gonna blame my terrible playing today on lack of sleep. I know I always am complaining about lack of sleep, and so, you know, if I use the excuse every time, is it really an excuse? But I woke up last night at like 1:30 a.m. and couldn't get back to sleep. At least I don't think I got back to sleep. I mean, it's hard to say what happened in that sort of like fuzzy trying to sleep moment, but I am very tired. So I may be a little loopy. I may game a little poorly, but I think we'll still find some bugs and fix some bugs, hopefully. Ooh, geez, you're making good use of that boost. Haha, I'm still getting some hits at least. I think I am. I can hear them. Let me see if I can get some. No, no! Need to get some more power-ups. This one's mine! I don't know why I switched from a zap to a boost. It's not, you know, 100% better. Ah! Yeah, there's been one rollback the entire match. I think we are going to have to switch to using network relay forced in order to get any decent testing. I mean, there still could be bugs that happen when we're this synchronized, but most of the bugs manifest themselves as a result of rollbacks. So I don't know. Let's switch that. Shooting a man when he's stopped. Let's change our settings to network relay forced. And this will also be a good time for you to double check, Ross, if your detailed logging is on, and I will get a new match ID. Yeah, this is always weird communicating like this because I know there's like a 20-second delay. Oh, you're already in here. Awesome. Well, look, it's still 82 milliseconds. You need worse network. We might need to like artificially mess up the network connection or something. I'll change it to 3 so maybe we could finish a whole round, or try to finish a whole round. 1 rollback. 2 rollbacks, 2 ticks of rollback. Oh yeah, Ross, yeah, using your network worsening tool might be a good idea. Here, do you want to, like, go set that up? We can just pause for a moment here, and you can go worsen your network. It'll also be interesting to see how the game handles the sudden reduction, which I've tested a bunch of times. But like sometimes a drastic change in, oh, Ross has left. Okay, so we're not going to see it happen in the time. I guess your plan is to turn on your network worsening tool and then join a new match. But it is interesting to see how the game handles like just a massive new spike in round trip time. It certainly used to have a lot of trouble with that, but should be good now. I'd love to test that more if possible, but it's not required. Hopefully we'll get someone else in here too at some point to do some 3-player. Also, like with the sort of nature of rollback, that rollbacks are caused by these missed predictions. You get way better, just chaos. The more players that are in there, 3-player, 4-player matches lead to just more mismatches, more rollbacks, more different things that can happen and go wrong. We seem to find bugs faster that way too. So I hope some other folks can turn up. Maybe I'll like ping Elliot and see if he can stop by. I'll get my Slack going too, because he's usually slowed down IPv4. Yeah, I don't know if it'll hit IPv6. That's a good question, because the forced stuff will go through Twilio's return network. Here, let me just type this message so I'm not doing two things at once. All right, pinged Elliot in Slack and Discord. And let's get the overlay going again. But yeah, I don't know if traffic will travel over IPv6. It certainly might. Like, can your tool do both? Because like you may as well try both just to see. My network connection in particular, like if we were doing peer-to-peer, which of course we're forcing the network relay, does prefer IPv6, which is very annoying. Because when I'm like debugging a network problem, not necessarily even a game networking problem, but I do web development, to try to debug an issue, and just like IPv6 addresses are just a pain. Like I look at them and my just brain turns off. It's just too much gibberish. Like, is that me or is that somebody else? Like, what's with the logs here? But yeah, I am very excited to finally get this out. My plan for the new year. My plans for the new year, if I can get this game released, is to start working on a bunch of VR prototypes. Dig back into VR, do some more work on the WebXR and Godot, and I'm hoping to try and make just like a VR prototype every month to just play with some stuff, test some stuff out, explore, and maybe find some cool mechanic or cool thing to really dig into in 2023. So kind of use 2022 to brainstorm and build up ideas and experiment and see what people like. Oh, okay, there was a big number there for a second. This is more normal. Like, this isn't a huge delay, 116 milliseconds, but that's pretty standard. Should we go for this? I don't know if you want to dial it up a bit or if that's too much of a pain. Yeah, if you can dial that up a little bit, that would be nice, although not essential. This certainly is better than nothing. If your tool lets you introduce packet loss, be careful with that, because WebRTC does funny things with packet loss, which isn't necessarily bad to test. Like, testing that is some useful data, but you add like 1% packet loss, and it's like the equivalent of increasing the ping time by like 100 milliseconds. So if you introduce a little bit of that, just a little, just a touch, just a pinch of packet loss. See, we've got another eyeball. If if you're in... Oh, did I copy this match ID in? I actually don't remember doing it. I must have, though, if Ross was in there for a second. Did I copy this one in? Okay, I did. Out of sleep brain. But new eyeball person, if you want to try getting in here and playtesting, that's our match ID. Here is where you get the build. We're playtesting the second from the top build. If you can't get in, don't want to playtest on stream, that's cool too. But, you know, that's what we're trying to do. We're playtesting, breaking things, and trying to fix them on stream. That's the goal today. Ooh, look at that. 935 milliseconds. Definitely working. It's definitely working. That might be too much, though. That's bigger than the buffer. So here, let's do a little math. We're doing a buffer of 15 frames, and we're running the tick at 30 frames, the simulation at 30 frames per second. The game is rendered at 60 frames per second. Every time I say 30 frames per second, I'm just worried that like the internet's going to come and be like, 30 frames per second, that's unacceptable. It's just a simulation. The game will be rendering at 60 frames per second. But anyway, our buffer size gives us 495 milliseconds, and that's one way, right? So theoretically, we should be able to handle up to 990 milliseconds, but in practice, that doesn't really work. You need a little bit of leeway, a little bit of slack, such that I think probably the best that we can do with our current buffer size would be like 375, or no, I'm doing it backwards. Be up to like maybe 750 or 600 milliseconds, something like that. Anyway, looks like, okay, 100 milliseconds on send, 100 milliseconds on receive, 1% packet loss. That sounds good. Let's give this a try. Let's see what happens. Okay, we'll do a short match, since the goal, I guess, is basically just to get to the end. Maybe Battlefield, it's classic. All right, you're going down, Ross. Oh, look at that. We're getting a healthy amount of rollbacks up there. I am seeing a tiny bit of artifacts on your tank. Not unacceptable amount of sync artifacts. In fact, I'd say that's perfect. You definitely expect there to be some artifacts. Ooh, and we got a little bit of resyncing there. Up, attempting to regain sync. Ooh, is this going to be too much for us? Ooh, you got spread. Okay, I gotta stop thinking about networking. I gotta get serious about the battle here. Ah! Stuck on a tree! I'm a master fleer. No one can run away like me. Probably not true. It actually makes me think of a movie that my daughters really like. These like aliens whose primary... whose culture is basically based around running away. I don't remember the name of the movie, but I remember the aliens are called the Boov. So that went pretty well. We had a couple regaining sync, a little bit of artifacting, but totally acceptable. We're staying. Oops. See. Okay. If you look at the network overlay here, we're mostly like 3, 4, 5. Ah, crap. 3, 4, 5 rollback ticks, but then it'll spike to like that 10, 11, and that's when we get the regaining sync. And I'm betting that that's when the packet loss is happening. So a little bit of... Oh my god! No! I was hitting to boost! I was trying to boost! You're going down this time, Ross. I'm turning off the network overlay. It's serious now. Oh, I went the wrong way! I went the wrong way! Ooh, you are definitely controlling the spawn zone. Oh, okay, now I'm gonna get into the spawn zone. Ha ha ha! Ha ha! Oh, you are going down. Also, this wasn't like technically a bug, but I did, again, nerf the railgun a tiny bit. It now grows for 2 less frames than it did previously. So, trying to get a little reflection going here. No, no, I gave up the spawn zone. Ah, still did it. What was the score? Should I still be serious, or should I turn the network overlay back on? Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that artifacting. I'm sure Ross can. Ah! I don't know how well it's coming through on the stream though, but I can definitely see where like Ross will turn and it'll overturn a slight bit and then jump back. Like that is the classic rollback artifact that you get. But it is totally acceptable. I am not put off by that at all. No, no! Oh, I should have had him a couple of shots in there. No, no! Ha! Oh, wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. Oh my God! Whew. Yeah, that's working pretty good. This is a good level of error and stuff coming through. Let's see if we can do a deathmatch. We'll let it get a little crazy on the desert. I'll say. Yeah. Oh. Okay, we had a little bit of regaining sync there. Not totally disruptive though. I think we're regaining sync for 4 or 5 frames, something like that. We'll see in the logs. Oh no! That was a longer one. That might have been more like 8, 10 frames. Oh, this is... Oh my God! He has spread! Whoo, how did I survive that? Yeah, we are getting a couple of regaining sync. You can see over here when that happens, the rollbacks are jumping up to like 11. I even saw 15 in there. That's the full buffer. We have a buffer of 15 ticks for rolling back. No, I need that! Railgun versus spread. The old OP versus the new OP. Jeez! Oh, your spread ran out! Bet you weren't expecting that. Boosting in and nailing me with the spread would have been a... Ooh, you have another spread? Oh, I am like on the edge of my seat here. No! Got my zap. Zap is one of the power-ups that has caused the most like determinism issues out of like everything. So I gotta use my zap a bunch. You're not getting in here, man. Oh, I'm not taking... Oh no, why did I take that boost? I like literally was saying I'm not gonna take it, and then I took it. I thought I was going forward, but I was going backwards. Alright, next zap I get, I'm just not even gonna strategically play, I'm just gonna use it. I'm just gonna be like zap, zap, zap. That's what I'm doing. Ooh, you're invisible! Attack of the invisible tank. Alright, 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 where are you? That was pretty good hiding over there. Health, I'll take it. My railgun ran out. No! Can I get up there to get that second railgun? No, you took it. Oh, I am toast. Actually, hey, I want to kill me because then we'll get to do a or maybe not, but it'd be good to do a instant death. So let's let the time run down these last 30 seconds without killing each other. I guess we can mess around or whatever. But let's let the last 30 seconds run down. Let this go into instant death and test instant death. Because ooh, a zap. Like I said, I'm just gonna zap, zap, zap. Instant death doesn't get a lot of testing. I gotta get a good mix of power-ups to be ready for instant death. This may be testing, but you know, I'm not going in naked. Alright, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Instant death. Alright, Ross, where are you at? Ooh, spread. I'm saving it for when this railgun runs out. Ah! I think the new length on railgun might be... Oh no! Might be about right. It doesn't feel quite so like the range is too much. Oh, this tracer is perfect. This is perfect! I shouldn't get this into it, but I love it. I love it. You know, this is going quite well. We haven't had a single desync. Good game, sir. Good game. Maybe here's what. Let's do like one more, and then you can send me your logs. We'll look at the logs, even though there hasn't been a desync. And then I have the one bug from yesterday's match that I didn't manage to fix, and I can dive into trying to fix that. It's a shame though, because it's a really hard one. I might not be able to solve it, but yeah. Why is this not sticking at the bottom? Should I try out of order duplicate traffic? Yeah, why not, man? Try some of those other things and see what happens. We probably are getting a certain amount of out of order just because this is going over UDP. But yeah, do it. Turn on all the stuff. Let's see what happens. Let me know when you're ready. Yeah, so many bugs. If you just like hang out in the logs, there's attempted fix issue where player camera can become detached from the player. Attempted fix to state mismatch with ability charges. Just like attempted fix. I should just grep for attempted fix here. Attempted fix. Ah, my regex foo is not working very good right now. What? Okay, I don't know what's up with you, regex time. Let me pipe it through less. I don't know what it's using actually. Attempted fix. Or maybe I've been typing attempt to fix? Attempt to fix! Attempt to fix multiple state mismatches with zap. Attempted fix for state mismatch with visible timer. Like just, I don't know, 3 dozen of these probably in the logs over the last couple of weeks. All right, Ross is ready. Let's do this. Let's do this, team Snowpeck games. Let's break things. Where did my copy of the game go? What? Here it is. Okay. All right, still looks pretty much the same RTT wise over here. Maybe a little bit higher. Let's go. The desert's just the best. I'm sorry, it has the most power-ups. It's not so big as the maze. We're doing the desert. The desert is my new fave. Honestly, other than I see that the remote and local lag have seemed to have gone up maybe 1. They were sticking around 4, and now they're sticking around 5. This feels the same, which is good. That's a good sign. Boost! Zap! Haha, can't get me, I'm zapping. Come at me, I'll just zap. I'll just zap right away. It took me right to the same place. No! Okay, that time I actually really needed the zap. Railgun! Oh, I'm gonna boost into your face and railgun all over you. Oh no! Visible tank, where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are! Oh, I boosted the wrong direction. Ah, it didn't matter anyway. Yeah, I saw quite a lot of artifacting there. That would have been, if it sticks with it, that would be a kind of disruptive amount of artifacting. Although in the network overlay, I was seeing like 13 frames of rollback for quite a while. And if you think about that, how long of a delay is that? 13 frames? What's 13 times 33? It's that many milliseconds. Oh no! Did you even know I was there? I was invisible. Oh, where am I? You'll never know. You'll never know. Ah, you found me! Ooh, that was a close one. Got these stickers on my keyboard that keep sticking to my fingers. Okay. Oh, I mean, other than that moment where I was doing those 13 frames of rollback, this is good. that was a pretty big artifact right there when you change direction. Ooh, here we go. Got my tracer. Got a little bit of health here. Hope you did not pick up a railgun. That's all I'm saying. What did I pick up? Was it another tracer? Where are you? Hope you're not invisible. Oh, there you are! Oh my god. So there was a regaining sync at a kind of critical moment. That was kind of disruptive. Oh, you're invisible, but I have tracer. You're going down. Ah, I will trace you. All right. I don't know, man. We didn't get it to crash. I wish we had some more players to play with us. Let me go look at the eyeball counter. Oh, there's a couple more eyeballs. Folks, in the chat, let me know if anyone wants to jump in and playtest a little bit. Because we want to crash this. We want to crash this so that we have some bugs to dig into, and it definitely is easier to crash when there's more people playing. Yeah, thanks, Ross. I am impressed as well how well it did with it. I don't even know like what the key was in the end that got past the issues here, but I just kept fixing thing after thing. I built that tool to like visually see what's going on with the networking, and just like, I don't know, enough little things stacked up, and it's working good. Again, anyone in the chat, say something if you want to playtest. Otherwise, Ross, if you could send me your logs in Discord, I will take a peek at them in our debugging tool here, see if there's anything interesting to be gleaned from them, and then I guess I'll start trying to fix the one bug from yesterday that I didn't manage to fix. But yeah, if anybody else out there, any of you eyeballs in the world, want to help playtest, try to break this thing, let me know, and we can get another match going in a second and jump back into it. I guess while I'm waiting for Ross to share... Oops, I didn't mean to run this scene. While I'm waiting for him to share his logs, I will show you guys this tool, which we've looked at on other streams before, but it is still super fun. Let me find an interesting set of logs here. I'll grab some from yesterday. Not the same one that we are going to be looking at later, because it is very, very short. We'll grab a big one. So basically, when you have the detailed logs turned on for the game, it logs an absurd amount of data. Basically, it's like a line. Each line in these files is a JSON structure, which contains the input for a particular tick, the state for a particular tick, a whole bunch of just like metrics about, you know, this frame happened and we rolled back 2 times and it took this many milliseconds to run. This frame we only interpolated, it took this much time to run, we did these set of things. And I get those logs from all of the players and then put them together in this tool, and it lets us explore it in a really interesting way. We can see points where the different clients had a different idea of what the state was. It's a state mismatch, or a different idea of what the input was. And we can drill into that and see what's happening. There's this cool thing, I'll show it to you when it comes up, where it will show how the data is passing between the clients. It'll actually draw little arrows showing when the data for a particular tick arrived at the other peer. Anyway, Ross said he sent the data in Discord. I will go grab it. Firefox says, Ross detailed logs. Save them. Oh, and not that it's like that important because the game is so cheap, but there is a sale going on Steam for this game if you're interested in picking it up. Apparently it ends on January 5th. Every time Steam sends me a thing where it's like, put in your discount for this upcoming sale, I'll just like type a random number in there. So I'm like, the game is set up just to automatically go on sale a whole bunch of times. Okay, let me get these logs extracted in the right place. I'm doing that on a window you guys can't see. Sorry about that. Actually, I'll do it over here. I'll do it on a window you guys can see. Why not? So local share Godot app retro tank party, detailed logs. I'm basically just going to extract Ross's logs into the same directory where my logs already are. This is the 2021 1231. And that's interesting that Ross was peer ID 4 a couple of times. I guess maybe like some of the times we disconnected and reconnected, because it does assign the peer IDs in order. Wow, I picked a really long match from yesterday to open. It's just taking forever here, but it should be done soon. It looks like this is the last peer. And this is just kind of like an example. I guess I probably didn't need to do this because it took as long as it took Ross to get his data here, but I'll show you how this looks in the tool. We will probably have to adjust the times. So this view, the frame view, is based on system time. So you can see our clocks are out of sync, but I already know how to adjust them because I was looking at these a ton yesterday, and I wrote down, if I can find the right page, I wrote down the adjustments. So I'm just saying, like, peer 4, we are going to add this many milliseconds to its clock times, and peer 2, we are going to subtract this. I think peer 2 is the one that's ahead. We'll go back to the beginning and take a look and see. Yeah, these basically line, or no, we aren't at the start. Yeah, okay, so now they basically line up. And you can see what I was talking about before, the network arrows going here. So like on this -1 tick, there's -1 and 0 ticks because of the input delay. So basically on tick -1, it's gathering the input for tick 0. So it's sending some ticks in advance of when they will be input in advance of when it will actually be needed. That's configurable in the asset. You could disable the input delay, you could make it longer, whatever. I have it set for 2 ticks, but you can see the input is gathered over here and it actually arrives at the other client over here. And the opposite for the blue arrows, so you can kind of see how the data is flowing. And that allows you to see, like over here, it's working pretty much in lockstep. Like we have this very consistent, like 1.5 tick delay for the input to travel, and then you get over here and you see these clumps, and these clumps are showing that the traffic just isn't getting there. This could be packet loss, this could be suddenly like a spike in ping time, and you can sort of go through here visually and see how the network is doing, at least between these two peers, because remember, it's a peer-to-peer game. So the situation between any two given peers could be anything. Like we could be getting clumping between these two peers, but then maybe between, let's say, these two peers. Whoa, we're getting even worse clumping. But you could imagine one getting clumping and one not getting clumping, right? Let me go back to the first one because I was kind of tuned into what was going on here. And we can find like a place where it was regaining sync, possibly. Ooh, I saw some yellow. Yeah, okay, so here's a point where, oh, this actually isn't regaining sync, this is something else. So these yellow boxes are where it's skipping ticks for some reason, and when it's skipping ticks with an A over it, that's an advantage correction. So this client, or these 3 clients actually detected that they are too far ahead of this client down here, so they all skipped a bunch of frames in order to catch up. And you can see that like really easily visually. Look. This peer number 2, is on tick 1366 at the same time as these other peers are on 1367, 1376, 1375, 1374, so about 10 ticks ahead, and they were all able to detect that they were 10 ticks ahead and then skip a whole bunch of ticks, whatever they calculated, such that when they came out of it, we now see that this one's at 1378, 1379, 1381, and 1380. Which I love this advantage calculation. It's the coolest thing. I stole it from an article in Gama Sutra, but it works like magic because the peers actually don't know for sure. They don't have enough data to know for sure that they are ahead, but they have some sort of indirect data that they're able to do this calculation on, and it seriously is like magic. Anyway, let me open up the logs that Ross sent so we can actually see some data that we were just actually playing through. And that would be in here. Yeah, so these are probably probably starting here. The way these are is it's like the date, some timestamp, the match ID, and then the peer ID. So they kind of group in the file explorer here. So let me open up this. I think is the first match with Ross. I will be able to verify that by looking at the state data. Oh, I didn't show you the state data yet. I'll show you the state data once this loads, because I can see the player usernames in the state data. Whoa, we have some system clock difference here. We'll have to figure out what our difference is. Why don't I have a scroll bar? What is going on here? Something weird is happening. Something very weird is happening. Okay, well, clearly Peer 2 is way behind. So let's add, I don't know, 10 seconds to it, see what happens. That was too much. 5 seconds. We'll binary search our way there. That's still too much. 3 seconds? Okay, that's much better. We'll say 2700. 2500? 2200? 2100? That's not bad. Maybe just 2 seconds even. There we go. Ross, you are 2 seconds behind me. But why don't I have a scroll bar? Something is definitely broken. Yeah, and these buttons aren't working? Let me try closing this, and I'll open it the other way. This can be opened as a plugin in the editor, or I can open it just as a scene. And maybe I have some memory leak somewhere, or some thing where it's not fully resetting itself, or I don't know. We will fully reset it by going to our log inspector, run just this scene. It'll look different because it's not using the editor theme. It's using like the default game theme, which I don't know, it doesn't look great. But okay, let's grab that same match. I think it is this one. And we know Ross now is 2,000 milliseconds behind, so I'll write that down. I'm sure I will forget it in a moment. Da, da, da. 2,000 milliseconds. Okay. And our scroll bar is here. So whatever was broken is working now. And this was when we were playing, when we just had that 33 millisecond round trip time. Look at this. Look at how close in sync we are. Like, the data is just going straight across. That is just nuts. Okay, let's see if there's anything interesting in here. Nothing at all. Network is too good. Network is just way too good. We can see there's no mismatches. Like I was saying, I can see the usernames in here. I can see that Peer 1 is dsnopek and Peer 2 is rkletki. Let's look at some of the last matches. We'll start at the end rather than the beginning. Hey, William Lemarand! Thanks for coming by. It has been like a crazy long time since I've seen you, Bill. Wow. We need to chat, like, not in this weird game development stream context. Okay. Let's load up the last logs. This one will be pretty big. It might take a while to go. But hopefully there'll be something interesting here. Probably not in these state mismatches, because we know the match didn't get killed. So we know there were no fatal state mismatches, but the way the asset works is you tell it how many state mismatches in a row are a fatal state mismatch. So you can have like 1 or 2 state mismatches so long as you don't have a certain number in a row. And I believe I have it configured for 10 in a row. So yeah, no state mismatches on this one. But yeah, you can yeah, no mismatches, but you can sort of see here's the input on, say, tick 14. Here's the state on tick 14. If we had any mismatches for either the input or the state, they would appear there. If we switch over to the frame view, again, we have to adjust for Ross being 2 seconds. Ooh, what happened? What happened? We got an error. Interesting. Well, we have something to debug. Personally, I don't think UDP can overlap or go backwards. No, it can't go backwards. So in the thing where you see the arrows going backwards, that's because I was really, really rough with my time adjustment between me and Ross. If I were to like fine tune it so that no arrows were going backwards, that probably is the real exact time difference between me and Ross. But because I just did it roughly, I just said about 2 seconds. Because yeah, the arrows shouldn't go backwards. There was a bug that I fixed earlier where the arrows were consistently going backwards, and it was just like a bug in the tool, and I found it and fixed it. But it was a very I would never have known that the bug was there if I didn't have the arrows going backwards. Okay, so what is this bug that we are digging into? Oh, and hey, Bill, now that you're here, like I don't know what you're doing. Are you at work or what's going on? You want to play test this a little bit? Play the game? I can send you the link to download it. We can do a little match if you're able to. Actually, I'll just throw this stuff in there because there's the 20-second delay before you'll be able to respond to me. So this is a link to grab a build. We're playing the second one here, not the first one, but the second one that's labeled Rollback, and grab whatever version for your OS. And if you get in there, let me know. I will send out a match ID, and if Ross is still around, we could get a 3-player one going. Anyway, what was I doing? I was debugging this issue. Okay, so there's an issue in the tool. It's updating the start end times. Invalidate index 2. Okay, so this is an issue I didn't consider. Wait, no, I was thinking I was using peer ID numbers instead of indexes, but this does look like I'm using indexes, right? Peer start times. This bit of code is confusing me a lot right now. Okay, so update start end times. We're looping over the indexes in peer start times. What are the indexes even mean for that? Is peer start times an array or a dictionary? Peer start times is a dictionary. Okay, I think I wrote this bit of code thinking it was an array, but it's actually a dictionary. So we need to loop over the peer start time keys instead of the indexes. Oh, okay. Bill's on mobile. There is not yet a mobile version of the tank game, but okay, so how should this code actually be? I think it should actually be for peer ID in peer start times. And then we don't need to do this. I think that's right. For some reason, the editor is running like crazy slow. I don't know. It could be because I actually started recording instead of just streaming. Can you guys let me know if the frame rate is good? There was a couple of streams where the frame rate... Ooh, and I got to turn the overlay on. Where the... Oh, what kind of character did you get, Bill? You got this bearded dude with some... It looks kind of like spandex shorts and some sort of like shoulder guard. You're like a gladiator. You're like a big hulking gladiator guy. We had some streams where the frame rate was really low, so like I started recording as well as streaming. So if you guys let me know if the frame rate is fine, I will just stop recording, and probably my computer will run a little bit faster. Oh my god, this is so terribly annoying how slow this is going. Peer start times. I wonder too if it's because we used the tool in the editor and it had some problem. It could be like slowing the editor way down. Oh, and this is wrong. Wait, I might have just typed it wrong. It might have said end times before and I retyped it as start times. Frame rate is good. Thanks, Ross. Let me just drop over into OBS and stop recording. See if my computer's happier with me. Okay. Yeah, this looks right. I don't know exactly what I was thinking. Oh, you know what it was? The reason I was thinking that is because I'm doing this thing at the beginning where I'm starting with whatever peer 0 is. And you know what? What I had here before would work fine if I did it to peer IDs instead of peer start times. Hang on. Let's undo a bunch. Okay. So what this should have been, actually, the reason I'm even doing it this wacky way is because I'm setting the value to the value in the first, for the first peer, and then looping over the subsequent peers. So this should really be peer IDs. And my computer's still super slow. I'm going to try restarting the editor in a second. Let me just get this code out of my brain. And then I will save it. I'm going to restart the editor. We will stop the game. We will reload the current project. And we'll try to do what we were doing, which I don't remember exactly what we were doing, and hope we don't get that, that error again. So we're going to go to add-ons, network sync, rollback, log inspector, and we will run the scene, and we will inspect ourselves some logs. Inspect ourselves some logs. All right, and we were looking at the last match between me and Ross, which probably was having trouble because we have a peer 1 and a peer 4 rather than a peer 1 and a peer 2. And the editor, I think, feels like it's working speedier again. Yep, I'm typing at a normal speed. Good, good. Let's see what we can see. I remember there were no state mismatches. I was adjusting by 2,000 milliseconds. And here, I mean, you won't see any arrows going backward anyway because we Ross added all of that network delay. But yeah, we're seeing lots of clumping. Although here it kind of settles into a sort of rhythm where it's just delayed. Oh, here's some more clumping. Let's look for some, ooh, this is some massive clumping. Let's look for some of those parts where like pause the match to do regaining sync. They're pretty easy to recognize because they will be marked in yellow. Yeah, here's some yellow. Okay, so you can see the B is when we hit a buffer underrun. That's where the client doesn't have enough input from the other client or a other client, since this can be up to 4-player, to continue. And so it skips 3 frames. At this 3rd frame, you can see some input coming in. It now has enough input to resume, but it waits a bunch more frames. And the waiting is based on a certain lag number, the delta between what is it, the delta? Oh my god, I always confuse these. It's like how many frames we are predicting for the other client, and we calculate that by taking the frame we're on and subtracting the latest input that we have from that client, and that gives us the number of frames that we are predicting. So it waits for that to drop between a certain level, and I don't know that this is tuned perfectly, that it's waiting for the right level, but we would know that it's waiting for the right level if when it comes out of it, they are roughly synchronized. So when it comes out of it, this peer is doing tick 1119, and this peer is doing 1122. So 3 frames difference. That isn't bad. That's not the best, but it isn't bad. You can see here that this client does detect that it is some amount ahead. So it skips a frame for an advantage calculation, which gets us down to only 1124 and 1127. So still not perfectly synchronized, but not bad for how much delay Ross was adding there. Oh, and by this point, we actually kind of catch up. So this one's at 1200 and this one's at 1201. So I would call that a success, a successful regaining sync. Let's see if we can see some other ones. Yeah, and you can see when we're getting these regaining syncs, these huge clumps, which I'm betting has to do with packet loss. Here we hit a one-sided buffer underrun. This peer seems to, its packets seem to be arriving, but this other one seem to not be. So it hits a buffer underrun. They're roughly synced when we start. When we come out of it, we're way out of sync. This one is at 1747. This one's at 1736. So I imagine there's an advantage skipping to correct for advantage coming up. Yep, it happens. Or no, a buffer underrun happens first. But that's fine because it resyncs us more or less, and then there's an advantage calculation, and we come out of it roughly in sync. Okay, so I don't know. There isn't that much interesting to hear other than it seems like everything's working as it should. Let me just go through all of the logs that Ross sent, open them up and look at their state. If there's any state mismatches, then we have something to look into. If there isn't, we're going to look into the state mismatch from yesterday. Sound like a plan, guys? Ooh, Slacks! Hey, Slacks! When you got a grumpy old man. That's your character for this this stream. Do you have any interest in playtesting with us? We can try and get a 3-player match going with Yumi and Ross, the old whatnottery on here, because that is a higher chance of creating some breaking bugs for us. If you do, let me know in the chat. I'll send you all the info that you need. Ooh, this is a big bunch of logs. For now, we're just going through the logs that from me and Ross playtesting a little bit earlier on the stream and seeing if there's anything interesting to look into. I do have a Linux build. Thank you for asking. You may have noticed that I'm running Linux. So I do all of my development on Linux. So you can get the builds from here. What you want to, the build you want is the second build here, the one that's on the rollback branch. Click the 3 vertical dots and grab the Linux archive, extract that. Once you have it running, let me know. I'll tell you what you should change your settings to, and then send a match ID so we can get in there. Ross, I hope you're still around. Otherwise, we'll get a 2-player one with me and Slacks, but I'd love to get a 3-player. Okay, so no mismatches. Let's keep moving on. Oop, wrong one. The user logs. Okay, Ross is still here. Fantastic. I'll just see how many of these logs I can get through before Slacks is ready. And then we will jump into another match. I forget, Ross, did we change our network relay to forced? We must have, right? Or did we just have you do the clumsy, adding the network issues? All right, this is the only one we haven't opened yet from Ross and I's playthroughs. So let's just check this one out, see if there's any state mismatches. No state mismatches. Wow, those matches could not have gone more perfectly, Ross. Okay. Okay, we're on forest. Yeah, so I guess I'll have Slacks do the same once they get in there. I'll start up my client right away so I can get a match ID. And I guess show the settings. So, once you get the build running, Slacks, sweet, go to settings, and there are 2 settings that I would like you to change. One is this network relay setting. It should be on auto. Please switch it to forced. And this detailed logging, it should be set to disabled, and please switch it to enabled. So you want network relay forced, detailed logging enabled. And then once you go to battle, if you don't already have an account, whatever, you'll have to create one. And then when you get in here, you'll go to join a private match and put in the match ID that I'm about to put in the chat. So here is the match ID. You know what, Ross? Why not keep clumsy turned on? I mean, your internet is too good. we need to slow you down. Keep it running. That'll definitely add a little more chaos. We need chaos. We need to break things. It looks like clumsy must be off with the RTT that you're getting. Yeah, Slacks, you need an account first. Put in whatever. You can even make up an email address if you're worried about privacy or whatever. I don't do anything with the email address, All it's there for is to reset your password if you lose your password, but you can just make something up. It doesn't validate it. Or, I mean, I guess it does validate it that it's email address shaped, but it doesn't validate that it's real. So you can just put some junk in there, whatever you want. I forget the key I have to hit to get my character unstuck from the top. Is it K? No. Is it V? It's V! Okay. Here we go. We have Ross. We have Slacks. These are some good high ping times. So let's see what we find out. Let's see what happens. We'll set points to win 3. I always like to finish matches if possible. Jump into the desert. All right, let's do this. Oop, attempting to regain sync. We already got a buffer underrun or something. Well, let me turn on the overlay here. See, I'm getting tons. Ooh. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, this is a level of regaining sync that's perhaps too much. Let's see if it manages to normal out or if this is going to be this bad the whole time. So the biggest stuff here is Ross. Like, Slacks is staying relatively stable, and oh, well, Ross has now dropped to 1 to 2 rollback ticks. Oh my God, Ross, you might need to scale the clumsiness back a little bit. Oh my God! So, medium? I would rate that as medium. Let's see how it goes the rest of the match. Oh, did you scale back clumsy a little bit? I see your ping time has dropped. I am victorious! Scaled it back about 40%. Okay. So your guys' pings, at least to me, are roughly the same. Slacks, where are you located? Where in this green and blue globe are you located? Me and Ross are relatively geographically in the same place. The same region, not the same city. We are in Wisconsin. Yeah, this is. Oh, is someone still alive? Haha! Oh no! No! Okay, Slacks is in the UK. I forgot if I asked you on a different stream, since I know you have been around before. I don't think you've play tested before though. Oh my gosh! I'm playing kind of... Ooh, no, I need that! Oh, crap. Ooh, didn't need it. I was playing kind of risky because I had the zap. I had the zap in my back pocket. Whoa, we got through a whole match! Okay, let's try something we don't try a lot. Let's do teams, and I'll put you guys versus me because I've been winning too much. And you're gonna demolish me on stream. The humiliation is imminent. But yeah, we don't test team mode very much, and we don't test deathmatch very much. So you guys are on a team together. Best if you don't kill each other. You lose points for that. Oh no! Oh no! I need a power-up. There's no way I'm getting through this without a power-up. No! Oh, you got the tracers? Okay, I gotta stay far out. I actually got you! I got a point! I have a point on the board! Oh, you got to be careful not to shoot your partner, Ross, with a big spread around like that. You may have noticed the meta for this game dramatically favors people who are running away. So if I can keep moving, if you guys can't corner me, you need to orchestrate like a pincer move of some kind. I cannot believe I am staying this far ahead. Yeah. Coordinate your attacks. I shouldn't be giving you too much advice, but you need to prevent me from running away. Ooh, a couple of regaining syncs that... Oh! Ooh, synchronization lost! Huzzah! I'm celebrating that we caused a state mismatch. All right. Let's see if we can cause another one. Thanks so much, Slacks, for jumping on. This is already, like, way more productive in that we are crashing things. We need to crash it. We need to get bugs. We need to fix bugs. That's what we're here for. So let's do another match at least, see if we can get it to crash again. And then Slacks, I will need you to send me your detailed logs, and then we can load it up in the log inspector and see exactly what happened for us to lose sync. Because that is what I need. That is the sort of stuff I need to fix to get this game released. All right, I kind of liked that intense team deathmatch, and it gets practically no testing. So let's do it again. And yeah, let's break stuff. Move quickly and break stuff. That's like the Facebook motto or whatever. Probably not a great motto for a social media company, but for making a dumb little tank game, let's do it. No, I got demolished. All right. I'm playing the stay at the edges and run away playbook here. I do need to stay near the spawn zones, though. Ooh, did I score a point? What? Oh, no. Oh, see, that's what you guys need to do. That's what you guys need to do. That's how you team play this game right there. Whoa! Yeah, there's been a couple of regaining syncs that have been pretty disruptive, like right there where it really hung. I am very curious to see what that looks like in the log inspector. Oh, geez. Okay. No! One hit and I'm dead. One hit and I'm gone. Oh, and I lost my spread. All right, we're keeping it 2 and 2. I do have the advantage that there's more of you guys to kill. I can get more points because there's just more people to take out. Oh, I'm going to play aggressively with spread. Ooh, and it worked. It never works. Not unless I have a boost. Playing aggressively with spread when you have the boost is a beautiful 1-2 move. No. Ah. I get too into the competitiveness of this when we're just testing. I gotta maybe tone it down. I gotta maybe scale that back a little bit. Ooh, yeah, some really long attempting to regain syncs. Those felt like 10 frames-ish. Where am I? You'll never know. You will never know until I'm right on top of you. Oh, Slacks, you killed me before I could come out. Before I could take advantage of my invisibility. Ooh, you have the tracer. I need to stay away. Woo! Oh, I think you may have killed Ross, Slacks. I think you may have killed your compatriot. Oh, that was another long one. We are getting some serious regaining sync. Eat! I wonder if we switched from force to auto, if that would perform better or differently, because we do have the sort of international region thing at play, where network relay, I think, it can be particularly bad when we have the transatlantic connection. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. How did you guys get a point for that? It seems like you didn't get a point. What the heck happened there? Okay, I definitely got a point for that. Ross, you just kill me once. I wanna see if you get a point, cause like, okay, you got a point that time. What the heck happened that one time? I guess I'll watch back on the stream later, cause I'm not entirely sure You should have gotten a point, but it seemed like it at the time. It seemed like you should have gotten a point. All right. Thanks, guys. So we didn't crash it, except for the ones. Hey, Casper Dragon Wolf. How's it going? So, Slacks, your logs. I will tell you where to find them. The path you are looking for. Let me get a terminal with some big text here. No. Or here it is. I have it already open, actually. Huge. So the path is your home directory, .local/share/Godot/ app user underscore data or app underscore user data retrotank party, and then in there is a folder called detailed logs. So the first part of that is normal Godot stuff, but this detailed logs directory, oh come on. Yeah, so there's this detailed logs directory, which creates these big log files. And if you could please join the Discord if you are not already, although I think you're on the Discord, and share the logs from these matches. Ross, please share yours too, and we will check them out in the log viewer. I'm happy to see some more people from Twitch today. We don't usually get a lot of Twitch viewers. But yeah, thanks guys for turning up. We are playtesting the rollback and prediction version of our game here, trying to break things, trying to fix bugs, trying to get it released. Honestly, like, it has been playing really well today, and I may just release it tomorrow. I may just do that. Because, like, we found a bug. We'll try to fix that right now. There's at least one more bug I don't know how to reproduce, but or don't know what the cause is. I do have some logs from it, but let's. I'd love to get this thing out. I'd love to get this thing out. Then I will release the library, the Godot library for implementing rollback and prediction to the Godot asset store. I'll start working on tutorials for it, and I will make some VR games. All right, Slacks has thrown his stuff out there. Let me go grab it real quick. And I will have to remember how to extract a 7-zip. I always forget. Is it 7ZX? All right, so 7ZX. We'll try that. Yes. Okay, so I have those. Oh, I do it differently than Casper. It worked. It's appeared to work for me doing this command, 7ZX and then the file name. Yeah, I have PureID3's logs in here. Ah, okay. So Casper does do it the same way as me. Oh, and Ross dropped his here in the playtesting channel. I'll grab those and extract them. What's it called? Ross 2021 1231 detailed logs 2. All right, let's open those up. Was it the third match where we crashed? Let's open up the log inspector here. User logs. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. I think it was the second one where we crashed. Try that. What are you working on, Casper? What is your project that you're working on while you're listening to the stream in the background? Slacks is. Do you have two characters? Yeah, you do. You have your old man character and this other one with a sort of pink tunic, a long pinkish braid, and some sort of pointy hat. Gotta love the pointy hats. Okay, so this is the one. I'm going to assume that peer 2 is still Ross, and we'll adjust it that way. Cool. You and me, Slacks, have synchronized clocks. We're probably both using the same NTP daemon, since we're both on Linux. Seems likely. I use the systemd one. Okay, so this looks good. We'll go to the state input viewer here. We'll jump to the first state mismatch and see what it was. Wow, it was a big one. A big state mismatch. What could have happened here? So it looks like peer ID 3 is missing player 3 and has some extra explosions and is missing a spawn record. Okay, so it looks like player ID 3 for some reason has player 3 is dead, whereas peer IDs 1 and 2 see player 3 is still alive. So let's see if we can look at the data and kind of figure out what happened there. This is actually a tricky one to figure out purely from the logs. There's enough data in these logs that we could actually reconstruct the match and see what it looks like just from the log data. I have not coded that. It would be really cool though. I would love to, go up and down through the ticks in the input state viewer and actually see, the things and see where the difference might be. But I don't have that. I have not coded that up, and so we'll have to visualize. So yeah, it looks like peer ID 3 is Slacks. So for whatever reason, Slacks' game client saw himself as dead, whereas the rest of us, me and Ross, saw his player as alive. Godot manager for versions and projects. Manage Godot versions. Asset add-ons. Okay, so you're making a Godot manager. So like when you say versions, does that mean like you have like a launcher that can launch all the different versions of Godot that are on your system, something like that? The asset thing sounds interesting too, because I would love like a package manager kind of thing that can pull in dependencies for Godot assets. That would be really cool. Oh, you're aiming to replace the default, or no, that's Slack saying it. Never mind, I got confused by you both have the same Twitch logo by you in the thing I'm looking at. Okay, so Unity Hub. I am not super familiar with Unity, but yeah, Unity Hub is the thing that lets you launch different versions of Unity, right? Right, I think. So that sounds kind of cool. I just have like a folder full of the different Godot versions. And launch them for the various projects. Something that would be cool would be something that associated a Godot version with a Godot project, so that you like go open that Godot project and it automatically launches the right version. If that's what you're doing, that sounds amazing and I want it. How can I subscribe to your newsletter? If you have a link for your project, feel free to throw it in here because I would love to check that out later. I'm sure other people on the stream would be interested as well. Okay. Let's try and figure out what's going on here. So one way of figuring out what's going on, since I have looked into a couple of these hard ones before, is to look for what bullet is missing, because that can sometimes help us understand what happened. So, oh, and there's a score difference. That's almost certainly what caused the issue to be persistent, because in a couple of frames, his player will exist again, right? Because he'll be respawned. Although at a different position. Let's just get to the end of this, see what we end on. So the state when we finally give up, player 3 is still missing. I guess you didn't manage to respawn before the match ended. Okay, let's go back to the beginning, go to the first mismatch. We're going to go backwards one tick, and we're going to look for the bullets that exist. Because you would have been hit by a bullet. Which bullet was it? So we have 411, 412, 413, 414. So 411 through 414 are the bullets, I think. Yeah. And let's go one frame forward and let's see what bullet has disappeared. This is interesting, actually. I don't see a bullet that's disappeared, at least not in the mismatch. Let's look. Okay, so we have 413, 414. Did I miss 412 and 411? 412, 411. All of the bullets still exist. Or am I looking in the spawn records, or am I looking in the real thing? Okay, I'm looking in the spawn records. Get past the spawn records. Okay, game, drop timer. Okay, here's some bullets. We got some bullets. 411, 412, 413, 414. What in the heck? All of these bullets still exist on all clients. So even on Slax's client, Peer 3's client, even the bullet that supposedly killed him still exists. Which seems crazy, right? How could the bullet still exist if he got killed? Let me check the time. Okay, we got plenty of time. We got 40 minutes. And looking at the bullets, I didn't spend a lot of time looking at them originally. So 411. Oh, okay. 411 is a railgun bullet. That is how the bullet could still exist, even though it killed somebody, because railgun bullets keep going after they collide. Okay. So we have bullet 411. It's a railgun bullet. 412 is not. 412 is a normal bullet of some kind. 413 is another railgun bullet. And 414 is a normal bullet. So I'm betting it's one of these railgun bullets that killed Slacks. Or may not have killed Slacks as it is. Let's see if they change at all. Wait, did 411 actually go away? Okay, 411 may have gone away on the frame where the state mismatch happened. Interesting. I still don't know if that's what hit him. We'll have to compare the position numbers to see which one is the closest. Oh, let me see what's going on in chat. Bill says 414. Like Milwaukee, like my beloved Milwaukee that I miss so much. Oh, cool. Casper's doing exactly the thing I'm dreaming about. Let me open up your project on a screen that we can see on stream. Let's grab the link here. And I'll read up what you got going on here. Right now, I'm going along the path of coding the stuff I need before another function can be coded to completion. But so far, I have downloading and installing Godot working from GitHub, mirror support for future versions, notification of new versions of Godot, switching between standard Godot and C# Godot, downloads based upon your OS. The standard Godot versus the C# Godot is actually like another really annoying thing, because if you open a non-C# project with C# Godot, it's gonna like change your project a bunch, and that sucks. I don't want to accidentally do that, then I have to go clean it up. Something that like just automatically associates the project with the Godot edition and all of that would be great. Particularly, so are you gonna have a thing in it, Casper, where you can put custom Godot versions in there? Because I have a bunch of projects where I've custom compiled Godot because I've patched it or added a module or something like that. And it would be really cool to just open the project and have it open this custom version of Godot that I have only on my system because it's custom for that project. Like, that would be really cool. Have asset library browsing working, including preview of the data images, working on the download process right now. Ross says, that sounds great. It does sound great. I concur. Once I get that done, then I'll add support for creating new projects, importing projects, setting default version. So launch the project with setting add-ons to add when creating a new project. That's another cool thing, add-ons to when creating a new project. Although, like, I don't always want the same add-ons. Like, if I'm doing a network project, there's a set of add-ons I want. If I'm doing, you know, I don't know, one-player adventure game kind of thing, there's a set of add-ons I want, which is such a weird thing to say, like, why is that so specific? But it's because, like, I need my state machine if I'm doing, like, an adventure game, if I'm, I don't know. So maybe, like, templates is more interesting than a set of add-ons that always get installed. I don't know. I'd have to try it. I'd have to experience it to know, like, what is, Oh, cool. So you're saying that you're like, I'm going to create a new project and I want to click these set of add-ons and it'll just pull them all in right away. That's pretty good. That avoids a step rather than, you know, going into creating a project and then going into Godot and then clicking asset lib, you know, and having to do it from here. Although, I don't know. I guess I'd have to see exactly how it works because it's not that hard, like going into the asset library and then just being like, I need my Snowpeck state machine right here. But it would be kind of cool actually. So a lot of my add-ons that I created for myself are also in the Godot asset library because that's just how I roll. But it would be kind of cool to have a way to pull in assets that are not yet in the Godot asset library. Because I do have some that I have never released because like they're not ready or they're too specific to me or whatever. That, you know, maybe I'd want to pull in this way that I'm never going to put in the asset library, or at least not for months or whatever. Add custom Godot engines. Cool. Custom repositories of custom Godot engines. This sounds awesome. Let me go check out your repo. And of course, your Godot tool is built in Godot, like all Godot things should be. We have the Godot editor built in Godot. We need to have Godot tools built in Godot as well. So, okay, it's a C# Godot app game. Looks like you're just kind of getting going here. The project's been around for about a month. About 30 commits. I'm definitely very curious to see where this goes. I am going to star you, and I don't know if I'll watch. I'll just come back periodically and check it out. This sounds like a very cool project. Yeah, sorry, overlay is frozen because I am poking around in the chat over here. I'll kick it off again. There we go. Ooh, I didn't notice, Casper, you have a shield. You're ready to defend. To keep the barbarians out of the fort. All right, so I am the most distractible person on Earth. Back to this issue in the rollback and prediction version of Retro Tank Party that we're working on. So yeah, what I would like to determine is which bullet peers 1 and 2 think hit slacks, or no, didn't think hit slacks. Which one does Slacks' client think hit? And to do that, we'll kind of look at the positions of all of them. This is hard to do because they're in these fixed point numbers, or at least it's like hard for my brain to quickly process. I have a suspicion though that it's going to be that 411 bullet because it does disappear on the same frame as this happens, and I wonder if it's like a thing, like a mismatch where the node was fully cleaned up on one client but not fully cleaned up on another. So let's look at that one first. So I will probably have to do a little math here. Get out my reverse Polish calculator here. I don't know why they call it reverse Polish. Is that a dig at Polish people? I hope not. I might need to give them a speaking to. Okay, my reverse Polish calculator, and we're going to convert some of these fixed point numbers to not fixed point to make them easier for my brain to process them. So that is that number in floating point, and this is this number in floating point. And then let's look at the position of Slacks here. Oop, what did I do? I think I forgot to press shift when I was pasting. All right, nowhere near there. That was the X coordinate. Yeah. Okay, so it's not that bullet. All right, so that's not the problem. Let's check out 412. I guess I can kind of roughly look at these numbers and see if they're close. This one doesn't look particularly close either. This one maybe. 413, which is also a it is also a Railgun Bullet. Let's convert these numbers. It's not that close. It's not that close. So this is the exposition of slacks, and this is the... Although maybe the collision happened on the previous frame. Let's compare here. So this is 413 on the previous frame. That is quite a bit closer. Wait, did I do the same number twice? I did. What? Okay, and then I forget the X and Y position of slacks. I need to put these in another buffer so I don't forget what the heck they mean. So this will be bullet 413, and we will put these two bits there. And then we need to find in the state data where player 3 is. Let's copy and paste this to our buffer also. This would be player 3. I'll convert these. I'll start this over again so you guys can actually see what I'm typing. 622252008. Okay, so 494.48 and 73114.994. All right, this seems the most likely bullet to have collided. Let's look at the last bullet just in case before I go too deep down this path. The 414 bullet, the Milwaukee bullet. See how close it is. Not terribly close. Pretty close on the Y, not very close on the X. Let's just see what this X actually is, because the tank is not tiny. I mean, I think it's 128 by 128 pixels. So we'll see. Didn't mean the dot. What do we have in here? Okay, cool. We have what we need. Do any of you guys use DC, like the reverse Polish calculator on Unix as your calculator, or am I just like a old-timey freak old man? Okay, so this is super unlikely to be the bullet that hit. The difference is just too big. So I think it's 413. I'd be particularly curious to see what Slacks uses for a calculator, because he's a fellow Linux user. Oh, I missed a bunch of messages here. Casper says, soon we'll be ready for first release. If you want to see what it looks like, there appears to be some kind of HTML5 build. Let's check this out. EU Mario. Godot Manager HTML. Oh, it's not an HTML5 build. It's just some screenshots. It'd be cool if it was an HTML5 build. I'd be down with that. So this looks like the set of projects. Switch to an icon view of the same thing. Category view. Ooh, categories is interesting. In the default Godot project manager, I star things, but I always have to like change which things I'm starring because like I kind of go in phases where I'm working on a different bunch of projects, and it would be cool if those bunches could just be grouped by categories. So I'm down with that. Oh, here's the asset library. Lots and lots of pages. Ooh, any of my assets on here? No. I use this asset a lot though, the Godot Oculus Mobile plugin. I don't recognize it. Or Steam API? I've never used this one. I don't think Sam's face. I don't think that's the Steam one I use. Oh, Godot Steam, the one by Gramps. This is the one I use. Version manager, cool. Installed versions available. Remove a version. Create a project. Oh, this is interesting. So it gives you the same like settings as the normal one. That, I mean, people don't usually add new renderers, but I could imagine a world where the renderers being kind of variable could be complicated here, but probably not something that will come up very often. Import project. That looks cool. So I've been calling you Casper, but I've just noticed that your name is in fact Mario, and you're EU Mario. What inspired you to be Casper on here? Slack says, nope, about the desk calculator. I guess we're about similar ages. Yeah, probably. I don't know, maybe. I've been doing Linux since the late 90s, which is funny because at the time, I thought I was late. I thought I was late to open source. I'm like, open source has been going on since 1983, and I'm just getting here now, and Linux has been around since 1991, and it's like 1998 or 99 or whenever it was I got into Linux. But now I'm like like a Linux old man. I'm old in Linux years. That's kind of like dog years, but different. Anyway, what was I doing, guys? I was working on this mismatch. I was trying to figure out which bullet. It appears to be this particular bullet 413. I guess we can try and determine if we think it should have collided. Something that is a little bit suspect here is this exceptions. I have worried about this as a source of state mismatches since I converted the Railgun to rollback and prediction. Because if bullet 413 hit player 3, I think we should have an exception listed here for player 3. So the exceptions thing is this. The Railgun, once it hits a tank, it adds that tank as an exception, saying we can't hit it for 1 frame. We give that tank a 1 frame reprieve from being hit by a Railgun shot. And the reason is, when we hit someone with the Railgun, we don't want to hit them twice. We don't want to hit them on the way in and the way out, because the Railgun passes right through the tank. If it bounces, we want to be able to hit them twice. So you get that cool like ricochet kind of thing where it hits them, bounces on a wall, comes back through, but we don't want to hit them once and have it count for 2 hits. But it worries me as a state thing. And I would expect in this situation that an exception would be added for the successful hit. I guess let's look in here, see if there's a mismatch associated with bullet 413. No. Let's go look at the code around exceptions and see if that seems like it could be the issue here. Look at the Railgun Bullet. Let me look at the chat real quick. I have this tendency to like ignore the chat for like way too long. Casper says uses Ruby IRB for calculation. I'm assuming the IRB is the what is that called? The REPL. That's the REPL for Ruby. I also like using the Python REPL as a calculator pretty frequently. Yeah, you'll be able to categorize your projects, make it easier to sort through them. Awesome. You'll still have favorites. Cool. My internet connection is being a bum, causing lag on the stream. Oh, that sucks. Casper Wolf was a streaming name that I made up between me and my fiance. My side is Dragon Wolf. My fiance. Oh, okay. But EU Mario has been a Nick since, oh, wow, since I've been Linuxing. I remember the days of Ubuntu 4.10. Oh, wow. I did not use Ubuntu until way later than that. My first Linux was Red Hat 5.2, I think. I think Red Hat 5 was the first to use the Linux 2 kernel, which is the one that had loadable modules, so you didn't have to recompile the kernel to change your device drivers. And then I switched to Debian at some point. Or actually, no, I think I went from Red Hat to Gentoo to Debian, and then only relatively recently started using Ubuntu. Hey, Christopher Sunbaum. Don't know how long I can be here, but wanted to jump in and wish you all a Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, sir, as well. Happy New Year to all, in case I forget to say it at the end. Thanks for coming by. We have a lot of people here. Maybe we should be playtesting, guys, instead of chasing down this obscure bug. Let me know in the chat if you guys want to, like, jump on and playtest so you can cause some more errors, or if you want to keep cruising down this bug path. I'll keep looking at the bug while I'm waiting to hear what you guys say, but honestly, like for me, I can dig into this bug anytime. I could dig into this bug at midnight tonight from the logs, but what I can't do is playtest with a bunch of people. So I guess I'm saying I'm for playtesting. If there's any people who want to jump into a game and playtest so I can get some more logs, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to poke around at these exceptions until I hear from you. Okay, so it spawns. Despawn clears the exceptions. That's good. Otherwise, I would worry. Ooh, I've been bringed. Bring me, my friends. Thank you, whoever that was. I'm not sure which service does that particular sound, so I don't know how to check. Okay, so it isn't the spawning and despawning because we are clearing the exceptions on despawn. Any other state, speed, growing bounces. Growing bounces, I don't think we ever adjust speed, so that should be good. Clearing the points on the line, I guess that just removes them visually, that's fine. Let's look at how we're saving the state here. The exceptions for node and raycast get exceptions if not. Okay, so it might not be an exception if it destroyed the tank, because the tank being destroyed would remove it from the tree, which means we wouldn't add it to the list of exceptions in the state. That's interesting. I find it interesting, though, that we're not including it in the state, but we aren't like removing it from the raycast. That might be something we want to look at doing. Like, we should probably say if it's not inside tree, like raycast remove. How do we remove an exception? Shouldn't it just be a remove exception? There might just be like an autocomplete error there, but we might want to do that. When we load the state, we clear the exceptions. We say for the node path in state, we get the node, if node. Okay, if we're expecting it might be null, this should also be if get node or null, just for correctness. If node, then we add it as an exception. We really have no choice but to do it that way, because we can't add it if it doesn't exist. Then after that, we load state. Don't think the exceptions, at least what I've looked at so far, make it seem like it's the problem. Ooh, Slack says that was a Twitch notification. Cool. Twitch is, I'm glad we're getting that some Twitch people are showing up. That's awesome. Well, usually it's mostly YouTube and Facebook. Casper's got some big delay. There's just delay everywhere though, right? Like there's this like a 20 or more second delay just for me to get out to Twitch in the first place. Okay. So let's also look at this here. So the way that the railgun works is if it's growing, we check collision. Okay, yeah, so growing is when the line is still getting longer. When we're not growing, we don't check collision. Could growing be related to the problem? Network spawn would set growing, loading the state would save it. Doesn't seem like it could be the problem. We're going to assume growing is being, you know, loaded, saved to state and load from state correctly. The vector and the speed should be the same since we saw in the state that they were the same. Is colliding. So is colliding should only... Well, okay, so the raycast is colliding stuff actually has no effect here, right? Because, okay, so the way the Railgun Bullet works is it has a circle collision area at the front, which checks if it hits or not, and the raycast is only used to do the bounces. So the raycast is unlikely to be related to the problem, because if we look back at the state, look back at the state, the vector defines the raycast, I think, right? The vector is the same on all the peers, and if the raycast was doing something weird, we would also expect the Bullet 314 to have a mismatch on this frame as well, and it doesn't. Bullet 314 never mismatches. So I don't think it's the raycast. It must then be something with the checking the collision. So what can go wrong here? We say for body and get overlapping bodies on bullet collision. Is there any reason that a collision should not be happening? Like, did Slacks just use a zap or something that, you know, disables collision? Let me go to the frame before this happens, and we'll see what abilities Slacks was holding. None, no abilities. Just go back a bunch of frames. Actually, I should check not just what he's holding, but what is attached to his tank. No, no abilities are attached to his tank either. Okay. We're not in disagreement about the position. At least as far as I know. We could actually be in disagreement about the position if on this tick, Slacks moved to a different position than the other two peers have, and that is the reason why he collided, but because it killed him, we wouldn't see a position mismatch because it would be removed from state, because the object is removed from the game. So that is a possibility. A difference in position is a possibility. And we already established that Slacks is not using any power-ups, so speed is normal. Yeah. Looks like Slacks just shot, because the can shoot is false. We're just waiting for the cooldown to happen. This is a tricky one, guys. This is a really tricky one. I mean, I guess we gotta expect only tricky ones at this point, because I've been just knocking out a handful of these kind of bugs every day for a little while now. What else could it be though? So scale is only a little bit weird. Fixed point math, you have to assume scale and rotation are always going to be a little bit weird because the level of precision just isn't very high. It's a Railgun Bullet. Let's look at what tick is this? This is tick 2081. Let's go look at tick and 2081 here and see if anything weird happened with its execution. $21.81. So this is when the tick was run the first time, but because this is rollback, it could have been run a whole bunch of times. Oh, you know what this should keep track of that I'm not keeping track of? Is how much input is complete on each given frame. Let's add that. Let's add that to our logging. What? I don't know how Sync Manager could be not open. That's like the file I have open the most often when I'm working on the rollback and prediction here. And let's say at the start of the physics process, which is where we do all of our rollbacks and frame skipping and running the actual current ticks. We begin the tick, and there's a bunch of data that we care about here, such as, what is that variable called? It's like input complete tick. Call it, I guess, input complete tick. And let's also log, there's like a hash complete tick. State complete tick. Okay. So this won't help us now because we aren't these logs already exist from a previous match. Oops. Did I break it? I broke it. Let's relaunch it. But that will be useful in the future. This is like, how I end up doing everything. Like if I can't solve a problem, or if I'm like, this problem would be easier to solve if I had this data, then I add it to the logs and slowly build up what would be useful in the logs. Which log was that? I think it was the second log from our match, Ross, me, and Slacks. Hey, MacJoe82, how's it going? What brings you to the stream? I assume some Godot game development project you have going on? We'll just quick correct the time offset here. And we'll go back to what I was doing before. I was going to look at if there's anything interesting going on this peer related to tick 2081. So here's the first time we ran tick 2081. But odds are we will run it a bunch more times. We definitely run it again on 2082 because I can see that there's one rollback, rollback ticks 1. So we ran it here, we ran it here. Do we roll back there any other times? This one has 5 rollbacks, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Okay, so we only run 2081 once and twice. I mean, I suppose it's possible we did an even bigger one a little further down, but no, we didn't. We didn't do an even bigger one. That's the biggest one. Okay, so how is it possible that we only ran it once? Is like Pier 3 running behind all the other piers? Let me look at Pier 1 to Pier 3. So, yes. So Pier 3 has all of the input from Pier 1 that it needs. It has input up to 2079 over here, and 2080 and 2081. No, it should have rolled back from here, shouldn't it have? It's 2082, 2080, 2081. Oh, okay, okay. Or no, that's, I'm looking at the wrong pier. I feel like on this tick, it should have rolled back 2 ticks, right? Because over here, it receives the input for 2081, which presumably at this point it did not have. So it should have rolled back through 2081. Or wait, it received 2082. When did it receive 2080 and 2081? Is there an issue with my arrows? Hang on. Okay, so Pier 3 receives remote ticks received from Pier 2, 2081. It received 2081 here. Why didn't this trigger a rollback? Before 2081. We're on 20... Oh, no, okay, so no, we're on 2082, so this would trigger a 1... rollback. Okay, maybe it is doing it. Just, the data is just confusing. It's just confusing to understand. I might need to add something to this tool to better visualize which ticks are being rerun and when they're being rerun, because I think that would be useful in trying to determine what's going on here. Because what I'm trying to chase down, just to explain my thought process a little bit, is maybe it did something different because it rolled back 2 times or 3 times, and the other peers didn't roll back that many times, or, you know, maybe didn't roll back at all, depending on what's going on. Well, look at the huge number of rollbacks going on over here. Okay, so it looks like these 2 peers are running way ahead, but at this point, they kind of catch up. And we definitely would have run the 2081 at least twice. Oh, Mac Joe says, I just installed Godot a couple of days ago. I know next to nothing in coding, just curious. I'm good, by the way. Thanks, how are you? I'm doing good. And like Casper, or I should say Mario, like Mario is saying, welcome to the Godot community. It is a wonderful community full of wonderful people. Happy to have you. Man, this is a tricky problem. I might not be able to solve this one on stream. This might be one of those kind of problems where I'll be thinking about it for a day, and then something will occur to me to look into, and I'll be like, ah, that's what it is. Just basically, we have this situation that here's this bullet, here's this player position, and On one pier, it collides. On another pier, it does not collide. But everything else seems to be the same. And interesting, it appears that it is player 1's bullet that hits Slacks. So I guess that was me. That was me shooting a railgun. Let me go look at the code in the Railgun Bullet again. See if anything jumps out. Okay, so we check for collision, then we move the bullet. Then we sync to physics. And so we actually won't check for collision again until the next frame. Could that have something to do with it? So we're growing, then we're not growing, which actually this is kind of weird. We should maybe check for collision after we've moved, because if we've done enough bounces, we stop growing, and then we won't actually check for collision at the new position because growing is now false. So the next frame we won't check collision. We will have moved the bullet, but then not check for collision. Why do I do it like that? It feels like it would be so much better to check for collision at the end. I don't know if that will make any difference, but like, oh, another thing is we are doing sync to physics engine here. Is there a possibility that due to a rollback, we might not sync to physics before running this, but when running a normal operation, we would sync to physics? So load state calls the parent load state, which is sync to physics engine. Okay. So it seems like that wouldn't be a problem. I still feel like this code is better because it's just saner to reason about. You move the bullet, then you check collision. You move the bullet, then you check collision. And is this raycast thing happening in the right order? I think so. Okay, so the raycast, if it collides with something, and that something is only things that have their collision mask set to the bullets bit, which includes what? I don't think tanks, because it doesn't bounce off of tanks, it passes straight through tanks. So this must be its way of detecting like obstacles in the environment. I mean, this just feels saner. I don't know if that actually will help anything, though. Because we move it and then we check it. We don't wait till the next frame. Can weird things happen between now and the next frame? Because the way this was before, We'd move all of this, and we would sync to physics. Is it possible that the tank drove into the bullet as opposed to the other way around? Because then order could be important. Let's this is one of those things that if we could play this back, like, and actually see the tanks, which we have enough data to, but if we could actually do that, that would really help understanding this. And if it turns out that's the only way to understand a certain subset of problems, I might have to implement it. I might just have to implement it. Okay, so the way that the rollback and prediction asset works. Sorry for the yawn. Should never yawn on stream. It's the worst. But I got like 2 hours of sleep, so sorry, I have to. Is that it processes the nodes in the order that you see them here, in the order of the state, which is the order of the scene tree. So if player 3, where the heck is player 3? If player 3 is in this list before the bullet, then it will be processed before the bullet is. So player 3 is here, and then bullet 413 is later. Okay, so it'll process the player, and then it'll process the bullet. So in the old system, we check for a collision and then move the bullet. So if the bullet is not colliding, and then we move it to be colliding, it won't collide till the next frame. But the tank is being processed first. So you could actually have a situation where the bullet is non-colliding, so there's no collision. We move the bullet. We don't check for collision. Then the next frame, we move the tank, and then the bullet checks for collision, and it never hits, even though they totally crossed. So that's another argument for switching around the code the way that I did. That doesn't still explain this. Is there a condition under which that weird order thing could happen sometimes, but not, could cause a collision sometimes, but not other times? So I need to draw a picture. Oops, I want the one with the white background. Okay, so we have our tank is here. Our bullet is here. We move it to be colliding, so then I'll do kind of like a dashy bullet. And then the tank moves to now be here. Right, janky, dashy lines. Let's see what's going on in chat. Oh, Ross has to get going. Take care, Ross. Thanks for helping test. Happy New Year to you as well. So this situation would cause no collision, assuming everything happens in order. But let's say instead of this happening just one frame after another, one of these states was loaded. So let's say we load the state with the tank. And we load the state with the tank here and the bullet here. So they both, because, okay, so at the end, I should like number this or something to make it easy to understand, or maybe draw like several panels like a comic book. So if so at the start of frame 1, the bullet is here and the tank is here. At the end of frame 1, the tank is still here, but the bullet is here. Or actually, maybe the tank is somewhere else. But then at the end of frame 1, the tank is here and the bullet is here. Then frame 2 happens, and the tank is here, And so no collision is detected, and then I guess the bullet would keep moving, right? So let's say we loaded the state as of the end of frame 1, which would mean the tank is here, the bullet is here. We would run network process for each one. So since the tank is going first, that would move first, that's fine. All right, let's imagine a different reloading scenario. We go back to the beginning of this frame. This one is here, it checks for collision, goes here. Yeah, I don't see a way that this could cause a mismatch. I just don't see it. I'm not visualizing it. It's definitely weird. Like, this behavior is odd, and we should change it. I don't see how that could cause the mismatch. This is almost as hard as the other one I couldn't figure out from yesterday. I also kind of came up with no thoughts on that one either. I mean, there's lots of ways. There's lots of ways we could imagine that if the tank's movement was different on one client than the other, that could cause a problem. Because if it's in a different place, what time is it? Let me make sure I'm not going, oh, I went way over! I went way over! Oh, sorry everyone. We're supposed to do these only until noon. It's 12:12. I got so deep into it. You know, thanks everyone for coming to the stream. Thanks everyone who helped playtest and gather this data. This log, I'm gonna be like poring over it over like all tonight and maybe all tomorrow to try and find the answer. If it's interesting, I will post about it on the Discord. And probably by the next stream, I won't remember if it was interesting or not, or the solution, because I just lose that stuff from my brain immediately. But yeah, if you want to hang out and chat more, please join the Discord. There's a link down one of these directions. And I hope everyone has a happy new year. If you have any New Year's resolutions about your game dev plans, I have tons. I'd love to chat about that as well, and certainly good luck with all of your New Year's game dev plans and whatnot. So thanks everyone. Take care, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.